Hello viewers, today we will discuss about the structure of the liver and its function. Liver is the very important metabolic organ that is present in our body. It is present on the upper right hand side of the abdominal cavity below the diaphragm. Here you can see the structure of the liver in this diagram. It has a lobular structure and a dark brown, it is reddish brown in color. These are the two lobes, the left lobe of the liver and the right lobe of the liver. Beneath the liver, there is the gallbladder that stores the bile that is secreted by the liver. So it is located in the upper right hand portion of the abdominal cavity, beneath the diaphragm and on the top of the stomach, right kidney and the intestine. It shapes like a cone. It is reddish brown in color that weighs about 3 pounds. There are two distinct sources that supply the blood to the liver, including the oxygenated blood that comes from the hepatic artery and the nutrient-rich blood flows in the form and from the hepatic portal vein. So there are two main blood supplies: the hepatic artery that carries the oxygenated blood towards the liver, and the hepatic portal vein that carries the nutrient-rich blood towards the liver. And the deoxygenated blood from the liver is carried away by the hepatic vein. So the most important part of the liver is the hepatic duct, and the liver holds about 13% of the blood at a time, at a given moment, of the whole blood supply to the body. It is about almost 450 ml. So the liver can hold about 450 ml of the blood, that is the total 13% of the blood, and it consists of two main lobes. Both are made up of 8 segments that consist of 1000 lobules. The lobes divide into the small lobules. These lobules are then connected to small ducts. That ducts connect with larger ducts to form the hepatic duct. So the liver is composed of two main lobes that divide to form lobules, and the lobules connect to form with the smaller ducts, and these smaller ducts connect with each other to form the main hepatic duct. So what is the function of that main hepatic duct? The hepatic duct carries the bile that is secreted by the liver. So what is bile? Bile is released by the liver and stored in the gallbladder, as you can see in the structure. Here is the gallbladder. The liver secretes the bile through these hepatic ducts, the left hepatic duct and the right hepatic duct, that combine to form the common hepatic duct. And this common hepatic duct carries the bile and it is stored inside this gallbladder. What is bile? Bile is actually a greenish shallow fluid that is consisting of waste products, cholesterol and the bile salts. It is secreted by the liver to perform two main functions. Number one, to carry away the waste, and number two, to break down fats during the digestion. Because all the blood that comes from the intestine, it enters to the liver, and the liver processes the blood, break down the blood, balances, creates nutrients, and it is also involved in the metabolism of the drugs. The liver also plays an important role in the detoxification, that is the conversion of toxic chemicals or toxic material into less toxic form. All the blood that is leaving the stomach and intestine, it passes through the liver. The liver processes this blood and breaks down, balance and creates the nutrient, and also metabolizes the drugs in the form that are easier to use for the rest of the body or that are non-toxic. So important functions of the liver are: it is involved in the production of bile, which helps carry away waste and break down fats into small intestine during the digestion. It is involved in the production of proteins for blood plasma. It is involved in the production of cholesterol and special proteins to help carry fats through the body. It is involved in the conversion of excess glucose into glycogen. We know that the body stores the excess glucose in the form of glycogen for the storage. So glycogen is the storage form of glucose. Whenever the glucose is needed, by the feedback mechanism, the regulation occurs and the glucose is again supplied to the body. Two hormones are involved in this feedback mechanism. Number one is the insulin, and the other one is the glucagon. When there is high concentration of blood glucose in the blood, the insulin hormone produces and results in the conversion of glucose into the glycogen. That is known as glycogenesis. That is the formation of glycogen. Whenever the concentration of glucose lowers, the glucagon hormone is produced, and it results in the conversion of glycogen or the breakdown of glycogen back into the glucose by the process known as glycogenolysis. That is the breakdown of glycogen. So the liver is involved in the conversion of excess glucose into the glycogen for storage, that can later be converted back to the glucose for energy and to balance and make glucose as needed. The liver is also involved in the processing of hemoglobin for the use of its iron content that is stored in the liver. The liver is involved in the conversion of poisonous ammonia to urea. Urea is the end product of protein metabolism and is excreted in the urine. It is involved in the clearing of the blood drugs and other poisonous substances. It is involved in the resisting infections by making the immune factors and removing bacteria from the bloodstream. Clearance of bilirubin. It is a yellow pigment that is produced during the breakdown of RBCs. If there is an accumulation of bilirubin, the skin and eye turns yellow. That is also known as jaundice. So these are the important functions of the liver. When the liver has broken down harmful substances, its byproducts are excreted into the bile or blood. Byproducts enter the intestine and leave the body in the form of feces. Blood byproducts are filtered out by the kidney and leave the body in the form of urine. So whenever the liver is not functioning properly, there will be inflammation or long-term damage. So number one is the hepatitis, that is inflammation of the liver that is caused by the hepatitis A virus, B virus, or C virus. Hepatitis can be non-infectious, including heavy drinking. Causes involve the heavy drinking, drugs, allergic reactions, and obesity. Cirrhosis is the long-term damage to the liver from any cause that can lead to permanent scarring. जिसको हम कहते हैं cirrhosis. The liver then becomes unable to function well. The most common type of liver are the liver carcinoma or hepatocellular carcinoma. They almost always occur after cirrhosis is present. Liver failure has many causes, including infection, genetic diseases, and excessive alcohol. As cirrhosis results, the liver leaks fluid into the belly, which becomes distended and heavy. Gallstones. If a gallstone becomes stuck in the bile duct draining the liver, hepatitis and bile duct infection can result. Hemochromatosis allows iron to deposit in the liver, damaging it. The iron also deposits throughout the body, causing multiple other health problems. Then primary sclerosing cholangitis, a rare disease with unknown cause. Primary sclerosing cholangitis causes inflammation and scarring in the bile duct in the liver. Then primary biliary cirrhosis, it is a rare disorder. An unclear process slowly destroys the bile duct in the liver. Permanent liver scarring eventually develops. So the liver plays a significant role in the breakdown of heme. Hemolysis takes place in the multiple locations throughout the body, including the liver, spleen, and bone marrow. Heme is broken down into biliverdin, which is then reduced to unconjugated form, that is bilirubin. Most conjugated bilirubin enters in the bile and is excreted by the bile in the feces, and it is not absorbable by the intestinal wall. So if the liver is not functioning properly, there are the elevated level of certain hormones. The alanine aminotransferase ALT, and elevated ALT helps identify the liver disease or damage from any number of causes, including hepatitis. AST, aspartate aminotransferase, along with an elevated ALT, the AST checks for the liver damage. Alkaline phosphatase, it is present in the bile, excreting the cells in the liver. It is also in the bones. High levels often mean bile flow out of the liver is blocked. Bilirubin suggests the problem with the liver. Albumin is a part of total protein level. It helps determine how well the liver is working. Ammonia levels in the blood rise when the liver is not functioning properly. So in order to check the tissue damage, liver biopsy is done. It is most commonly done after another test such as blood test or ultrasound. When the ultrasound or the blood test indicate that liver is not functioning properly, we go for the liver biopsy as it is a painful procedure. So ultrasound, abdominal ultrasound can detect the liver conditions including cancer, cirrhosis, or other problems like gallstones. CT scan of the abdomen gives a detailed picture of the liver and other abdominal organs. So whenever you listen or know about the term hepatic, the hepatic means the liver, like the hepatic duct, hepatic artery, or hepatic carcinoma. So the term hepatic is specifically related to the liver. So in summary, we can say that liver is a very important metabolic organ that is involved in the filtration of blood, storage of blood, metabolism, detoxification, and bile formation.